Good morning, everybody. We call our meeting of the fiscal court to order. Glad to see everybody this morning. Where have you been, Whit?
What about in?
Huh?
Someone's have to work for a living.
Okay, you're up. Larry Whit from the Parks Department. I've got that picture for you down.
I came by yesterday, but you went and got a haircut.
Okay. But it is nice. It's a nice
Yeah.
contribution.
I just want to give you all an update on the TVA project with the day parks. We've almost got Buckhorn Bay completed. That should be done today, and then we're going to move on to Birmingham Point. And we're looking at probably in a couple of weeks, we'll have all that project done, and we'll submit the bills in and then get reimbursed from TVA. The only other thing we'll have to do is put a sign up saying that the project was completed in a joint effort between TVA and Marshall County Fiscal Court. But just wanted to keep you updated on that. Got special projects, and we've got 3 from the park doing that, so they're moving along pretty quick.
We're gonna be borrowing one of your guys, as we
Yes.
talked about, I don't know when, that they'll coordinate that through the city, with you.
Right, I've already spoke to Clark, and he's excited about helping them.
What I was told Larry, we got a nice donation from a lady who has a Statue of Liberty in her yard. It's really pretty. And she decided to donate that to the county park. It would be a great addition to our Veterans Plaza. So we're looking forward to getting that and appreciate her. We'll give her the credit. I didn't bring my note up with me, but it is a real nice, be a nice addition to our Veterans Plaza. All right, let's move into correspondence from the Kentucky Association of County Officials from Larry Krigler, our litigation manager. He says, we regret to inform you of the passing of Gary Mobley, president of Gary Mobley and Associates and primary contact for CAECO's Alternative Dispute Resolution Program and the Drug-Free Workplace Program. Mr. Mobley is missed by all here at CAECO, and we have yet to engage the services of his replacement. Presently, should you have any questions concerning the ADR program, please contact Larry Krigler and gives the number at CAECO. All correspondence related to the ADR program may be addressed to Larry and mailed to CAECO in Frankfort. Any questions about the drug-free workplace program, which we are involved in, should be directed to Tara Aziz. She's a specialist at the Department of Workers' Claims, and I have her number. We'll miss Gary. I've worked with Gary Mobley. He worked with the Department of Labor. Some of you may remember Gary as he handled labor management for years and years and years. And then when he retired, he started his own company. And Gary was just a great guy. We'll miss him, but we'll work with Larry and Tara Aziz till they get a permanent replacement for him. From the Finance and Administration Cabinet, this is our estimated county statutory obligation to the Property Valuation Administrator for fiscal year 2014-2015. Our payment to the state estimated appropriation for FY 14 and 15 is $78,500. I met with Tony this morning. I think that's pretty much the same fee that we paid them last year. Do y'all recall exactly? It was, I think it was about $78,500. So no increase, but certainly no decrease. They did take a hit. He said they got some of the funding restored in this session of the General Assembly, but not totally. So it could be that a lot of PVAs that fiscal courts do not help them like we do are just going to have to lay off people, according to Tony. We should not see any reduction here. From MediaCom, The purpose of this letter is to inform you that on or about May 1st, 2014, Mediacom will be implementing a non-standard converter fee of $5 per month. This fee will be applied to all customers who rent a DVR box from Mediacom, but choose to cancel their DVR service subscription without returning their DVR box to Mediacom. The non-standard converter fee will remain in place until the customer returns the DVR box and/or exchanges the DVR box for a standard setup box. I guess they rent these.
Is that $5 a month or one time?
$5 per month. That's what the letter says, Lloyd. So I guess they're talking about people who rent these and then don't return them when they cancel a service. I'm not sure, but what it appears from Lee Grassley. Says, in conjunction with this change, Mediacom will be standardizing the electronic reactivation of accounts and electronic charge of service at the rate of $2 company-wide. So I guess that is a change anyway from Mediacom. Let's move into old business. You've all received copies of the March 18th meeting of the fiscal court. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes of the meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes, Judge.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Motion and second. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Gun range survey, are they still working on that, Russell?
As far as I know, I hadn't heard nothing back from them, but they supposed to be.
Would you please give them the estimate on the amount of,
We've kind of figured it up. And it's gonna probably take about 66,000 tons of dirt to do them berms.
that's dirt and gravel, that's, and as we said, you know, we'll do what we can when we can, but we can't just pull off of everything. Of course, the berms have to be 40 feet at the base,
6,000 tons.
20 feet at the top to meet the regulations. Isn't that what you understand, Russell?
Yes,
40 feet at the base, 20 feet at the top? Okay, so
and 20 foot high.
we'll continue to work with the committee on that. Watershed issue, Jeff, have you had an opportunity to?
Yes, I met with some of the board members yesterday, as well as state engineer, and on some other issues, but I have a draft ordinance that I'm going to be circulating among you for your review for the next meeting.
Okay. The Hardin Community Center, Commissioner Gold at the last meeting asked if we would get some prices on some tables. Our Special Projects Director, Mr. Teckenbrock, went down and looked over everything. He says we need 8 tables. There's 13 tables there, 8 of them are bad. And 8 commercial tables at $79.88 is $639.04. Chairs, they're in need of chairs. 4-pack, now this is from Sam's, okay? The 4-pack steel folding chairs, $42.98. I did not, Bob, do you know how many chairs that they're gonna need?
No, not for sure.
Okay. Then the table storage cart, and it will hold 10 tables, is $147.46. So
I thought he didn't put the chairs in there. I thought
he just put, I think they have 108 chairs, but a lot of them are bad. Now, how many, I'm not sure, Bob.
I can't remember now what he said. He told me, but I don't know now. Is it like 20 of those bundles, the 80 chairs?
Yeah, there's four in a pack, and they're $42.98 for what they call a 4-pack steel folding chairs.
2,000 would cover it. You wanna do that?
Yeah, I thought I believe he told me he thought 80 chairs. They had
Well, that-
100 and something chairs, and I thought he.
He told me a lot of them were really
20
bad. so-
20 bundles, I thought he said, of those
Okay,
four packs.
I just, what he wrote down here, 4-pack steel folding chairs is $42.98, and I didn't have a,
Which would be about 800, a little over $850 or whatever, and then, so it's about $2,000, is that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000. Now, that is if we want one table storage cart or two. The storage table, it'll hold 10 tables. You actually have 13 and 8 are bad. Now, they don't have wrestling down there anymore,
No.
so
I
we're
think
gonna
the
get
equipment
them.
will stay better.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that was throwing some stuff up.
Yeah,
Well, if we had two, it'd take about $2,200 then to.
I'd
to do
say
it.
that.
I'd make a motion that we provide, fund $2,200 for them to get tables and chairs that they, and the two carts.
All right, you've heard the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on the motion?
None.
Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. At our last meeting, we talked about the scavenging at the landfill. Our chairman, Chairman Newton is here. Danny, I think we put up some cameras and signs, have we not?
Absolutely, yes. That was already in the making. We
Yeah.
talked about it 2 or 3 months ago, but it just takes a while to, get it set up.
Camera situation's kind of neat. You can look, they don't zoom in on anybody, but you can see the activity
That's great.
that's going on. So, hopefully that's gonna be a good help and,
Well, that's not all the problems we have. We have it at these transfer stations.
Yes, as
When we
well.
close, people will pile their garbage up. Kevin can tell you that.
yeah.
You know, and,
I'm sorry, I thought you said Kevin was doing that. Oh, yeah, Kevin just observed that. Kevin just observed that, I see.
yeah, we turn it over to Kevin when we find the pile.
Well, Kev, you live out by one of the stations out there, so I'm sure you see it. But, okay. Appreciate that. At our previous meetings, we had had a request, and I gave you all information that was given to me on Lookout Lane and changing that to Bashir's Lane. Have y'all had an opportunity to review all the, I think I gave you a whole packet of stuff that I had. I tried to make copies for everybody. And I told them I would put it on the agenda for your consideration, so. If you want to do anything, or table, or what,
I mean, I think we all have compassion for the situation, but the last, I think, motion that we put forward in the court was that unless all property owners were in agreement, is that right, Jeff? That's the last,
That's my understanding.
and that still stands, so we would have to change that position of the court in order to be able to accommodate his request, and I just, you're opening, it's not just a sign change at that point, then you're setting a precedent for every other request, you know, and I tried to explain that to Mr. Bashir's. And I also spoke with Mr. Leeper, and he is still opposed to it, and he states that other residences now have homeowners who are opposed to it. I don't know that to be true, but I did do some checking just to see if he would go ahead and give us permission to make the name change. He says he's not the only holdout anymore. I don't know that, but he is still a holdout, and that goes against our policy of granting those requests because we do have somebody that's opposed to it.
Well, I'd add, even if all of them on the road are for it, it's still quite a bit of changes that have to be made. The 911, I mean, it's not just an easy fix. You have road department, you have ambulance service, all that GIS, all those that involve changes that has to be made. And I know most people think it's fairly simple, but it requires some time and effort to do that. And it sometimes can be confusing also to law enforcement and you know, when they know what a road name has been for years and ambulance service. So it's my concern is, you know, I would be hesitant to change any road name unless, you know, it was, you know, there was some, I don't know what the reason would be, but if there was some really compelling reason, I guess I would change my mind, but I'm not much on changing road names now that they're said.
I agree with that, Judge.
I don't know that we need any action, I just wanted to get, I said I'd put it on the agenda and give you the information, and we've done that. All right, is there any other old business that we've overlooked? Oh, I did have, and this is probably old business, well, I've got it in new business, that's okay.
I'm sorry, Judge, I just thought of
I'm
something.
sorry.
The nuisance complaints, are those now all finalized, the ones that you had sent out and had to resend?
We finally made contact with that last person, and they have responded, and I'm fixing to go to the Refuge Board's next meeting and present that, because, yeah, we've got it, everybody has either contacted me or we've made the effort and had no response, so
Okay.
we're going.
You all meet next week, Danny? Yes. Okay, so maybe by our next meeting? We could have an update? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Did you get much response, Kev, by half maybe, I don't?
I
I know you was having trouble.
actually,
getting
no.
stuff brought back, sent back to you.
Actually, I've got several that have been sent back that's not signed for, that nobody, you know, we've made every attempt. I've got 2 people that's requested a hearing, and I've got another one that said that let the county do it and send us the bill.
Okay. These still crop up, you know, from time to time, and there's a lot of them out there. I mean, as we start into summer, I suspect we're gonna get more.
Have we, speaking of that, have we got somebody in place for if it was, you know, disposal of trailer or something like that? We got somebody in place for that? I know we was looking for someone.
I think we just talked about getting a cost estimate from the refuse and seeing what the disposal rates would be through WastePath.
Okay.
I don't think we ever found an individual that would be willing to dispose of it entirely.
Well, I don't know who the person is. I seen it when I was headed to church Sunday. But at Patterson Ferry Road, they had a trailer that burnt, and that was a week or so ago. And when I went by Sunday, they had a roll-off box out there, and it was down to the deck, completely gone in that roll-off box, so.
I think WastePath will rent, I don't
Okay.
say provide, will rent those roll-off boxes.
Because I didn't know if that was an individual doing it or a company
I
or
can
whatever.
check. They did the
Yeah.
same on 68 with the one that burned
Our
recently.
containers are not made for construction debris,
Right.
so we'll have to contract with somebody, WastePath being in our county. Danny?
Now, there's a lot of this cleanup that we're not gonna be able to do, because we don't have the manpower or the tools to do it with. So, I just wanna make you aware of it.
Yeah, we may have to contract someone, yeah.
And if these that we do, is the fiscal court gonna reimburse us the man hours, or how is this gonna work?
Well, I don't think we've even talked about that, but I think we can work out an arrangement. First of all, it will take a
Didn't the ordinance
track
specify how that's to be done?
track hole, you know, to tear a lot of them down, which y'all don't have. Well, it'll have to be a joint effort between the road department and the refuge department to accomplish this, I'd say. I don't know if that, is that addressed in the
Yeah,
ordinance?
I think so. Let me look at it.
I think it says county, Judge.
County? Okay.
Actually, really the only people we're supposed to deal with, if you read that, is the people that once they could.
period.
Yeah. And we've got two that's asked for that, right, Kev? Well, of course, if they would agree during the hearing to clean it up, then it becomes their responsibility. Or like that one told Kev, we just don't have time, I guess, to do it. Y'all do it and send us the bill and,
And we have done that in the past on the
Yeah.
ones we've cleaned up.
Yes.
We've been lucky we got our money back.
yeah,
Fiscal court.
fiscal court, okay. Okay, clears that up. Okay. County Building Inspector, we've got an executive session on that a little later on, so let's hold that till the Health Department did an appraisal on the Calvert City building that is jointly owned by the county, the hospital, and the health department. Sloan Appraisal and Realty Service out of Paducah has placed a value of $150,000 on that property. I don't believe we paid quite that for it, did we, Marty? The health department, the hospital, and the fiscal court jointly bought that property, and I can't remember, but I don't believe it was $150,000. But that's what the appraised value is.
No, it wasn't quite that high, but.
Right. Because we'd all said that if we could just get our money back now.
We bought it for less than that, but we all put money in to make the improvements.
Right, that is correct, so,
I think there's a trade-off in there about value of what we paid as what we've invested in it.
yeah, okay. All right. Okay, but I have a copy of that, did I put a copy in everybody's box? Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Our copier in my office has died, exploded, I don't know what you call it. We do have a loaner in there now, but for the last few days, we were not able to get fax or make copies or anything. We are checking with 3 different companies to get some pricing on a new copier. But I would ask the court's approval to let us purchase a new copier after we're waiting on one more bid, or not bid, but quote.
Motion approved, Judge.
We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. The Conservation District has submitted their annual budget report and plan of work for the coming fiscal year. The total receipts were $82,100, total available $117,100. They have a projected balance of $490 with total expenditures of $116,610. This is presented by Dennis Henson, who is the chairman of the Conservation District, and also included is their annual plan of work for the year 2014, 2015. I would ask your approval on their proposed budget and their plan of work.
Motion approved.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Each of you have received the report of the audit for the Marshall County Fiscal Court for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2013. The audit was a clean audit. We had the same, I guess, comments and recommendations that we've had every year. One is a segregation of duties.
They know we can't do that.
Well, here's my response, Terry. We will take the recommendations into consideration and implement changes where we feel both internal controls and time management could be improved. And we stress to them every year, you know, we have a limited budget, we have limited resources. If you are a Jefferson County or a Fayette County, where you have audit firms and CPAs on your staff, the other one was during the testing of payrolls, 3 instances where time cards were not maintained by salaried employees. They cite KRS 337-320. Every employer shall keep a record of the hours worked each day and each week by each employee. So we responded, the road department's salaried employees that are not keeping time sheets will be instructed to begin using the time clock to account for their hours as soon as possible. That was the only 2 concerns that they had. One, we get it every year. So, other than that, it was a clean audit, and I forget what our bill was. It was kind of like yours, Sheriff. It was kind of high this year, but that's okay. So it's here. Did y'all all get a copy of that?
Yes, I did.
All right, North Marshall Water District, we have their financial statements for the year December 31, 2012 through December 31, 2013. Everything is in order. I don't think y'all got a copy of this, did you?
I attended their meeting, so I saw that their financial statements looked pretty good. I
Yeah.
haven't seen a copy of that though, so.
We'll make copies for everybody. But I would entertain a motion to accept the financial statements and audits of the North Marshall Water District as prepared by their certified public accountants, Alexander, Thompson, and Arnold. Do I have a motion?
Make the motion, Judge.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. We have 2 quick personnel items, and Marty, do you had something you wanted to?
Well, you mentioned that at the outset of the meeting, the city of Benton would like to obtain the services of someone from the Parks Department that has some expertise in the area of horticulture. We have the responsibility for doing the planning at the health department, and the employees that we had, that we intended to rely on for that purpose are no longer employed. They now are employed out of Kinley. And we'd like to get you all to loan us, or I don't know whether you just put them out there and supervise us, but we will provide the labor and all the plannings, we've already got those available, but we just need somebody to make sure we do it correctly. Otherwise, we're gonna be back in 6 months, digging up dead plants, and you know how that goes.
Well, we have a person on our staff who has a degree in that, and Larry has said they'd be more than happy to loan him to us as we do our plannings, because we don't know how deep, or, you know, some of these plants, you have to plant them deep, some not so deep.
This won't be a financial responsibility that the court has. The city of Benton agreed to do this in exchange for the property. When the health department donated the property up to the city where we put the Children's Art Center. And so, in consideration of that, we agreed to help with the moving and do all the planning and provide all the landscaping out there. So if y'all can do that for us, it would be a big help to us. And I think in the long run, it'll pay dividends. We won't have to replace a lot of plants out there.
And Marty, if you'll get with me, let me know when he needs to.
Okay.
Whatever, just let me know.
Well, we've asked Pinnacle to give us a notice when
Time,
they're
yeah.
gonna release the building for us to do that exterior work. And what we'll do, Larry, is get in touch with you then, and then we'll coordinate that through the city.
We'd like to get all their heavy equipment running around out there finished, Larry, before we, you know, start planting nice shrubs and things. And we're getting close, but we'll give you some lead time on that. Okay, quickly, before we have a quick executive session, as you know, there's been quite a discussion in Frankfurt over the budget. The conferees worked all weekend. In fact, they were there till 5 o'clock, I believe, Sunday morning. But they did not get to House Bill 237, which is the road plan, which we're very interested in because our state representative had put in the budget monies for Barge Island Road and Moore's Camp Road and a bridge for the new hospital road. Those were all taken out. And I don't know what this has got to do with the gas tax or what, but our flex funding has been reduced from 20% to 15%. We lost about $100,000. We, in this year, last year, it was a little over $300,000, if you recall, for our flex fund. This year, it's $233,435. I contacted Rick Long in the Division of Rural Roads, and he said that's just the formula that they have come up with. Not just for us, but for every county, but 5% decrease is pretty hefty for us. Staying in the budget after the conferees, and I talked to Representative Coursey this morning, our funding for the Children's Art Theater, which was $250,000, has stayed in the budget. $2 million is in the budget to replace the roof at Kentucky Dam Village. So that is a needed project. I didn't realize it would cost $2 million, but that's what they put in the budget anyway, to replace the roof. We still don't know, like I said, on House Bill 237, we may be able to get some funding restored for our road projects. We're just not sure. But as everybody knows, the winter has taken its toll. And now as we go through the thaw cycle, potholes are beginning to pop up, not only on our state roads, but on our county roads as well. We're doing everything we can to try to seal these potholes as quick as we can, but as Russell will tell you, it's a pretty big job. But if you live on a road and you know that we have some potholes, please let me or Russell know, because if we don't know about it, we can't try to repair them. And we'll get to them as quickly as we possibly can. Okay, I would entertain a motion for a quick executive session.
Motion, executive
I have a
session.
motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, we'll be in executive session. Call the court back into regular session. We were discussing in executive session this new building inspection law. We've been wrestling with this now for about a year. Under the new law, single-family dwellings will have to be inspected not only for electrical, but also the foundations and structural. So we, talking with our building inspector, Cat Spears, our electrical inspector, and Cat is certified, he is willing to train somebody, use his signature until such time as we can get that person certified. Now, with Marty Johnson representing the city has indicated they are interested in going in with us. I have not talked with Calvert City or Hardin, but it would be good if we had one inspector countywide to do this chore. Mr. Johnson will be talking to the mayor and the council, and then the two, Jeff and Marty, will get together to draw up some sort of a interlocal agreement that we might deal with and before we hire an individual. Now, as you know, Mr. Spears, his job is strictly on a per-job basis. 80% of the fees go to the inspector, 20% to the county. We don't feel like that will change under the new guidelines, but we'll have to work all that out. Also, We talked about our janitorial service here at the courthouse. We had an employee to leave. We're using a temporary at the present time. We have several applications, some of them more full-time, but right now, we feel like a temporary person working 3 to 4 hours per day, 5 days a week would be sufficient. So we'll see how that goes, but we'll be talking about that a little more. I did get a call, and I told them I would put it on the agenda. I did explain to the person talking to me, it's about a leash law for the county. And I explained to the person, but I did say I would put it on the agenda, that in a rural county, it's almost impossible to enforce a leash law countywide. Now, some of our cities, the city of Benton, does Hardin have one?
I think so.
City of Hardin and Calvert, I believe, have leash laws.
Covered
Oh,
it.
Calvert does not. City of Hardin and Benton do. But it's almost unenforceable out in a rural county, but I wanted to bring it up for discussion to see if, we've talked about it before.
I mean, it would solve a lot of problems, but it's not enforceable. I mean, that's just my opinion of it.
I think it would be just putting a county ordinance on the books that we can't enforce. That's my feeling, but I said I'd bring it up, so I've done so. Y'all got any other feelings on it? Okay. We have an ordinance 2003 amendment to the 2013 tax rate. I'm gonna let Jeff explain while we're doing this, but I'll read the ordinance. An ordinance amending the Marshall County Ordinance 2013-07 and relating to the adoption of the 2013 Marshall County tax rates. Whereas the Marshall County Fiscal Court adopted the 2013-2014 fiscal year budget on the 25th day of June 2013. And now therefore is ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County, Kentucky, Section 1, in accordance with KRS 68245 through 68249, there is levied for the year 2013 the general ad valorem tax per $100 assessed valuation on all taxable property within the jurisdiction for the general fund and such additional tax rates for each special district or other fund as indicated. The original ordinance states West Marshall Fire Protection District, 7.5 real, 7.5 tangible, is amended to state Harvey Brewer's Fire District, 7.5 real, 7.5 tangible, E&O Fire District, 10 cents real, 10 cents tangible. This ordinance shall be published in the Tribune Courier newspaper by title and summary within 30 days following the adoption. Jeff, do you want to explain why we're doing this?
Well, I talked with Emily briefly about this yesterday before she had taken ill. And apparently it's just a matter of correcting these names and numbers from one to the other.
Now-
Nothing extraordinary about it.
But for the future, these taxes will be rolled into one. E&O and Harvey Brewers are now one district.
Yeah.
So at the next setting of the tax rate, instead of having two separate taxes, you'll have one. Is that correct?
That's right.
And this goes back to correct
2013.
2013. Okay?
Because that all was done early on in 2013, so it has to carry through.
Okay. Everybody thoroughly confused? Do I hear a motion to adopt ordinance 2014-03, first reading?
Motion adopt, Judge.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. We'll have the second reading at the next meeting of the court. Interfund transfer. Emily talked to me yesterday, and we transferred to 911 fund the budgeted subsidy, $31,250. The grant fund to the road department, this is the DRA funding for McFarland Road Project, $31,020. And from the occupational tax administrator to the jail fund, $150,000. That's a total transfer of $212,270. I would recommend approval.
Okay, motion to approve those transfers,
We
Judge.
have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, you had an opportunity to review the bills.
Motion to pay the bills, Judge.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Russell?
Yeah, we've all been talking about possibly ordering new mowers for this year. And it takes around 3 months to get them after we place the order. And I'd like to go ahead and get permission to advertise for bids for 2. And not be, we won't pay for them until after July 1st.
It will take about 3 to 4 months to get them, right, Russell?
Yes,
Yes. And then we're gonna have 3 tractors and mowers, 3 tractors and
3
mowers
tractors and mowers to
that
trade
we
in.
will surplus or trade in, and then that will still leave us a spare. And this will have 4 new mowers. Is that right? We
Well,
bought 2 last year?
We bought 2 last year, then we bought 2 the year before, so they'll give us 6 good.
Give us 6 good mowers.
We'll have everything replaced then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Make a motion, Judge, allow the superintendent to go ahead and accept bids.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Russell, anything else?
And that's it, as far as I know.
Okay. We are recommending to Emily, Russell and I have talked about this, and I haven't had a chance to sit down with Emily to talk about it, but because of the harsh winter and because of the condition of some of our roads, trying to up our blacktop budget a little bit this year by $100,000, which would give us a little bit of relief. I was looking the other day at some of the requests. Anderson, you were short. No, they just
Short-
hadn't, they
short
just
on
hadn't went
money.
through your district yet, I don't think, but 2 of them jumped out that I knew you needed, but, Bob, I think yours was well over $500,000. Misty's was
It's pretty close.
about a $250,000,
One of
so,
the worst ones we have, Judge, is Barge Island, and it's like 8 miles.
I know, and that's
out of
that's what we
question.
had in the budget, the original House budget.
Brett Brazil School Road, so
Had
they're
in
all.
there to do that, and hopefully now, they still haven't come to a complete agreement on House Bill 237, which is the transportation budget, so we've still got a little wiggle room. If you could talk to your representative or senator, it would be appreciated. In talking with Rick Long, he said, look, we're gonna try to, because I was really fussing about being cut $100,000 on our flex fund. And he told me to get in line. He's been getting calls all day. But Rick has been awful good to us, and so is the Rural Roads Commissioner. But $100,000 is $100,000, because that's all blacktop money, okay? All right.
And roads that looked good last year, I found several places, and
Yeah.
maybe not just fell apart, but some bad spots that have come up that didn't look bad at all last year.
Yeah.
So it's freezing and thawing
Yeah.
hurt.
Kev, you got anything? Nothing.
Terry's got a few more roads on his list now.
you-
Terry's got a few more roads
Okay.
on his list now.
All right, any other business come before the court?
Around our area, I went over to Moore's Camp the other day, and those road people is driving like, I mean, with school's going on. And I like got run over 3 or 4 times. You know, and one time I was off road keeping them, I mean, they're crazy over there.
Well, that happens every time we improve a road. They'll pick up the speed. The only thing we can do is try to, patrol them as best we can. But you're right, Ray, you go down some of those roads, and they're driving like they're on Interstate 24. And it's scary, it really is. Yeah, Steamboat's the same way. You know, and we widen Steamboat just a little bit, and now I'm telling you, when you widen them, improve them, they feel like that's just a license to take off.
It's not the individuals that live there,
Right,
it's people coming through.
yes,
Whatever.
yes.
If y'all can give me some specific times and days, that helps us to be able to patrol it, because of the manpower issue we have, I can't set somebody out there all the time, but if there's certain times that are worse than others, then you can get that to me, then I can create a detail to where we can target that.
One of them be afternoon, kind of late, like, a lot of parents are gone, somewhere, and kids are in college, and it's been late, or in the night, whatever, no problem, but, I stopped one girl, and I told her, I said, people are walking, people have dogs they're walking, they have kids walking with them, and she said, I really didn't pay much attention to me traveling that fast. She said, I'll slow down. And she did. Never had a problem with her after that. But now, I thought one boy, he give me a cut. But, I said, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would help us if you could give me some specific days and times to where it's worse than others, then I can target that area and specifically have somebody there.
Remember, let the sheriff take care of that, because you don't know who you're stopping out there talking to.
Yeah.
yeah, that's true,
Let the sheriff take care of that.
that's true.
Some of these people are armed now, and you gotta be careful who you talk to.
Now,
It's a different world out
well,
there.
we had an incident last week, and it was in the press and on television. The exceptional school was broken into. And, 2 19-year-olds and a juvenile, and the police asked the one boy, why did you do this? He said, was bored. Was bored. But to tell you the heart of individuals, I had a man and his wife come in to my office this last week, left me a $500 check. They saw our popcorn machine, the kids loved their popcorn in the afternoon, they just destroyed it. Destroyed our Coke machine, just tore the place up. Another fellow drove all the way from Fancy Farm to give us $100. So, I don't care. Living in this county, when there's a need, it's filled. And I really appreciate the people of this community.
Give about 20 years to get on board, that'd be the best thing.
That's right, that's right. I wanna, Jerry, before you leave, before I adjourn the meeting, it's been a trying year. And I really appreciate, those of you that had faith in me and stuck with me, particularly my UAW retirees. I can't tell you guys and ladies how much I appreciate you. This meeting's adjourned.